Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And as you see, we're in the car once again. I'm actually just now getting off work. It's Sunday afternoon and it's 88 degrees out. Great day to be out in the sun, at a pool, at a beach, at a lake. Unfortunately, I can't do none because I had to work today. Oh well. Gotta make this money somehow. So today I actually want to talk to you guys, and sorry for moving my phone around a lot. I don't have a car mount just yet and I need to get one, and I keep putting it off, and I'm just gonna get one. I need it because it's dangerous to drive with your phone in your hand. Don't try this at home. Don't try this in your car. So today I just want to talk to you guys about on my Instagram. I actually went and asked everybody what I should talk about. I did a pick a topic, so story time or a baby chat. Basically talked about my pregnancy, but everybody suggested story time. Son unos chones. You guys want to know a lot, do ya? Do ya? Just kidding, it's okay. I'm here for story time at any time. So I think my story that I want to talk about, the one that I picked for today, we're gonna do plenty of story times, I promise you, but I think the one that just kept coming up like constantly was the day that I was robbed. Like robbed at gunpoint. I used to work for a Verizon store, basically working there full time, opening to, and it was like a 9 to 5 job, literally, because we opened at 9, and I got off at 5. So yeah, this day, it was actually October 12th of 2016, 17, 18. No, not 18, because that was last year. I should have thought this through. No, but it was either 2016 or 17. I believe it was 2017. Yes, 2017, because I was actually diagnosed with my MS that same year. So let's get started. Okay, so I started this morning on a Thursday morning. It was on October. Of course, it's Halloween season. How do you say Halloween? Is Halloween or Halloween? Halloween is how I say it. Sorry if it's wrong, but that's just how I say it. So this day was Thursday morning. I had just opened. Literally just opened. It was as if this one person was just stalking the store, because he knew what time we opened. Obviously it's on the door. 1, 2, I mean, I'm a girl, so I'm pretty sure he was watching who opens and stuff, and how many people open. So that day I opened by myself. I was always opening by myself. And when I opened, I kid you not, I think right whenever I had finished opening duties, because you had to arrive there at least, you had to be there at least by 8:45 to be able to open the registers and then also all the opening duties. So that day, as soon as I got done with that, I went and I opened the door, turned on the open sign, went to the back, and I had bought me a breakfast burrito. So I went and sat in the back for a little bit to eat my breakfast burrito, and I was watching something on my phone. I don't remember what it was, but it was on Netflix. And so I'm sitting in the back watching Netflix, and I want to say it was after, as soon as 9 hit, I think I want to say at least it was like 9:15, if so, 9:10, 9:15, around there. So I'm sitting there, and around that time, the door, like I heard the door, and you know what? I don't even remember if the doorbell rang whenever you open the door. I don't remember, but I heard the door open. So I go to the front, and like the first thing, like one, I'm already in a bad mood because you did not let me finish my burrito before you came into the store. So I go to the front, and this person, he's facing the door, like he's not turned towards me. I didn't walk up to him. I walked to the register first, and keep this in mind. Usually whenever I would open by myself anywhere, I was already paranoid because I'm opening by myself and anything can happen. So when I walked to the register, and while I'm at the register, I'm like, hey, good morning, how can I help you, sir? What brings you in? And he walks up to the register, and one, like I'm blind. I'm already blind, okay? So he's quite a distance away from me. And I didn't have my glasses on at that time. But so I'm like squinting my eyes as he's walking up to me. And he has these dark sunglasses on. He has a black beanie. He has a black hoodie, which is totally normal because it's cold outside. It's October. So he's walking up to me, and as soon as he walks up to me, oh my gosh, I will never forget this moment. But he walks up to me, and he's like, give me everything that's in the register and in your safe. But when he's saying this, he's pointing this gun at me. Like, as soon as there's no way to explain it to you, like the feeling. But as soon as he says that, it's like in this terrifying like tone, like you just can't forget that. But he says, give me everything that's in the register and everything that is in your safe, pointing the gun at me. And I look at him, and all I do was just stare at him. And I stare at him, and I'm just like in shock. Like, this is happening right now. What the fuck? Excuse my language. But so I go ahead and open the register, and I let him take out the money. I did not touch it. I let him go ahead and put his hand in the till, because I don't know why, but my smart instincts crossed, which was like, okay, if he gets caught, his fingerprints are gonna be on this till, on this register, on this desk. So, but then I realized he had gloves on. And so the only thing that I remember about this guy, just the way that I had described him to the detective, basically was red, orange beard. And then it was nothing but dark sunglasses, a beanie, black hoodie, blue jeans, and black shoes. And so like at the moment when he's taking out that money, he sees me staring at him, but staring at him like at his face. So I'm staring at him, and he does not like that. He looked at me, and then he goes with the gun, he's like, stop staring at me. So I'm like, I said, yes sir. So next thing you know, like I'm talking all like mannerly to him and responding in a good way, because I'm like terrified at this point where he just yelled at me. So after he gets all that money, there was no more than $200 in that till. Let me just tell you that. But as soon as he gets the money, he then says, take me to the back. So I go to the back, and our safe has a code on there. And he was like, open the safe. unlock the safe. In my mind, I'm like, crap, what's the safe code? I don't remember it, just because of the fact that I'm freaking out already, just because he just yelled at me. So I'm freaking out, and I'm just like, I don't remember. And he's like, open the safe. So I go and, like, it just happens to, like, cross my mind, okay, this is the safe number. And I type in the safe number, open the safe, and he's like, give me all the iPhones and all the Samsung phones. That's exactly how he said it. And I look at him and I'm like, okay. I said, yes, sir. He goes, put them in the duffel bag. And so I'm getting all the iPhones, and I'm just digging up all the iPhones, just tossing them without organization. You're just throwing them in the duffel bag. And then I get down to where the Samsung phones are, and I think that's when the iPhone 8 came out, and the Samsung 8 as well, I believe, or Samsung 7, I'm not quite sure. But he was like, throw everything that's Samsung in the bag. So I'm digging up all the Samsung phones. There was some in the back on the top corner that I didn't get because it was quite dark in there. So I throw all that in there, and as I'm throwing that in there, he said, do you have any tablets? And we did. So I go ahead and reach over for the tablets, which were at the very bottom, and he said, throw those in there as well. So I start stuffing the bag with tablets, and when I'm stuffing the bag, they stopped fitting. Like, there was no more room. So I said, it doesn't fit, it doesn't zip. And he said, okay, take a couple out. So I think I took out like 2 tablets just because the zipper was not zipping anymore. And so this is where my mind is telling me, you better prepare yourself for anything. And I'm just like, I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I beg for my life? Like, in my head, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how do I get out of this? What do I do? Do I run? Do I call someone? How do I get out of this? And so what happens was that he says, do you have a phone? And I said, yes. He goes, let me see your phone. And then so I get my phone out of my pocket, and he says, turn it off and throw it. So I turn off my phone, and I was like, please don't do anything to me. Please don't do anything to me. I remember begging for my life. I said, please don't do anything to me. And in my mind, the first thing that's crossing is he's either gonna shoot me or he's gonna rape me. So, like, I don't know why, but those 2 things came to my mind. So I turned off my phone, and I tossed it to like a corner away from me, and it was like it fell on a desk, but it went like under the desk. And then he says, get on the floor, lay down on the floor. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen, he's gonna rape me. Like, that was my thought. And he said, I'm fixing to run out the back door. And I'm like, okay. And so he goes to the back door, and then he yells at me, and he's like, how do you open this? I said, lift up the lever. And so he lifts up the lever, and then he runs out. I like sat on this floor as soon as he left, and just thought, do I get up? Do I go to the back? Do I close the door? What do I do? And I ran and got my phone, and then I'm crying my eyes out already. Who do I call? I think I called my AM, because this has never happened to me. I have nobody taught me what to do. Nobody said, these are the procedures to do if something like this ever happens. So so I go ahead and call my AM, and he's like, what are you doing? Call 911. So he's already pissed at me, and I'm like, okay. So I hang up the phone with him, and I call 911, and I let them know. And I call 911, and what pissed me off was the fact that they put me on hold. First of all, this is an emergency. He could still be in the freaking room with me, and they have me on hold. I don't understand that. I really don't. But they have me on hold, and they're like, okay, like they said something about transferring me to something. I don't remember. But so I'm waiting, and then somebody says, okay, so has he left? Where are you at? How did he look like? Stuff like that. So I'm describing him, everything, and telling them what happened, and the operator's like, okay, well, I'm gonna send somebody over there. And so I'm waiting. I went ahead and locked the door in the front, and I locked the door in the back, because I thought, I was like, maybe he's gonna come back. So I go ahead and lock the doors, and I call, I believe I called Tony, and then I also called one of the other employees, and they quickly showed up. But whenever I'm waiting there, I'm just thinking, I'm like, thanking God that he did not think to hurt me in any type of way, and still trying to catch on to what just happened. So as soon as everybody gets there, the police and everything, they start doing the fingerprints, getting, what happened and everything like that. I think I ended up staying the rest of that day, just until somebody else showed up, I think. Or I believe I closed. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the company actually let me be on leave for 2 to 3 days. They told me as long as I wanted it, but I needed to work, so I went, and I only took the weekend off. But I mean, from that weekend, it was the worst to me. I could not sleep. I was constantly thinking, what if he comes and looks for me because I ratted him out? Just everything in general. I mean, I was scared. Also, I think by Saturday, the detective calls me, and he's like, hey, this is Detective so-and-so. I'm just calling to let you know that we've caught the guy. And I told him, I said, he said, by the way, good description on what he looked like. And I'm like, okay, no problem. That's if that was anything that I could do to help you find him, that was what I was glad to do. They said, good description. He's caught. He was actually caught the night before, which was Friday, at a AT&T location, doing the same thing with the same costume, everything. He was caught because somebody spotted him. Somebody saw him outside running to the car from when he had just robbed the store. Ow, my hand. I really need to get this car holder thing. They caught him that night. That's why Saturday morning they called me, and I asked the guy, and I'm like, so was he so-and-so? This is how he looked like. He sent me a picture through text message, and I said, that's not the guy. And then he said yes, it was. He said, when you told me that he had an orange beard, he said, you will not believe it was actually a costume beard. He said it was something you just buy at Walmart, and apparently that was his costume to wear for the robbery, so that he wouldn't give himself up. So I was shocked. I was like, what the heck? Somebody goes that far. It just comes to show how crazy people are. But But yeah, that was my crazy story on that. But I mean, ever since then, I've been very, very, very traumatized. Like, traumatized. I don't like being alone at a store. Not too long ago, I had the same thing happen at my store where I work currently. And I mean, I was not there, but somebody else that was, she was actually freaking out. But I honestly don't wish this on anybody at all, just because like it traumatizes you. And then mostly whenever, say for instance, I would have gotten shot, the guy would have like hit me in the head or something, done something bad to me, then I would have been like super overly traumatized and would have not wanted to work in retail anymore. That's the bad thing about retail, is that you have to prepare for things like that and expect things like that. And yeah, that was my crazy story. That is it for today. If you guys have any questions, ask me in the comments area. Tell me if you've ever had any experiences like that before, and how you, I guess, came through with it, if it affected you in any type of way, as far as like you still working at the same job or moving on to something different, changing your career. Let me know down below in the comments area, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Always tune in by hitting the little bell that alerts you whenever I post. And thank you guys again for watching. See you guys on my next video. Bye.